Alright, so the Cootree 220. Now, I actually reviewed back of October of last year, 2014, another pair by Cootree that were also the 220s. I can only assume these are an updated, slightly revised version because there are actually two differences. One's very, very minor. That older pair had red highlights, whereas, as you can see, this is all black. Very minor, purely superficial. However, the second difference that immediately greeted my eyes is far more significant, and that's with this frame here. It's actually a smooth plastic tube. Now, on that older pair, when you put these on your ears, the frames that came up over the ears didn't actually go behind the ears. So, here's your right, here's your left. Now, on that older pair, they actually extended up and over. Now, I don't have particularly large ears, even though I have been called Dumbo in the past, so we'll say moderately large. Plus, I also always have worn glasses. So with those two ideas in mind, that last pair, since they went up and over my ear, I left it like a good quarter-inch. I had no problem with the fit, and they stayed on just fine. However, this newer pair, they did make it a lot shorter, a bit tighter of a fit. And these went directly behind my ears, just above my glasses. I wear simple wire frames, nothing particularly thick, but these went actually, even though they went behind my ears, actually still had space there for my glasses, so the tubing and my glasses did not make contact, and it gave me actually fairly comfortable and more secure fit, because this basically was right below the knob on the back of the head. So for you guys doing lawn maintenance, great consideration, because even with the wireless headphones that have like the shorter cords but still kind of dangle off the corner of the neck, every once in a while you'll still get that branch that just happens to catch there and you yank off the headset, and that sucks. You have no chance of that whatsoever with these, because they come straight up behind the ears and down and around the back of the neck. And for those who have long hair, no problem there, because no problem there. Audio, good audio. The bass, definite bass, good mids, good highs. No problems with that. Plus, it's got a 16-hour battery life. Now, you have to understand, most sports phones, on average, may have an 8-hour top-end battery life, because they use a smaller battery. However, these 16 hours is pretty fantastic for any sports headphones, whether in the ear or over the ear like these. So that is special commendation. Now, as for the button, aside from the frames being shorter and of course the cosmetics, the form and function is actually pretty much identical to that older pair of 220s. Yeah, the phone button also acts as your power button. You long press it to turn it on, and then keep it down until it goes red and blue for pairing. It paired up. I mean, as soon as this went into pairing mode, it showed up on my phone like that. It was almost instantaneous. And then you got your play, pause, and then these are your tracks buttons. Your volume is actually on top here, so there's none of that short press for one thing, long press for another thing. No, you get your track buttons and then your volume buttons. And it makes sense when you think about it, because what's the one thing you're going to probably play with the most? Well, probably the tracks, because once you get your volume, you're going to leave that up there and leave it alone. So, they've got it up there, change your volume, and then fiddle with your tracks. And then, a little flap there for your USB charging. So on the whole, absolutely. I guess the one thing I should mention, though, because the wire frames are, and I shouldn't call them wires, the tube frame, I should say, because they are tighter fit. I'll turn these around again. The one thing I specifically notice is that when you have them on, at least on my head, it did kind of put that pressure, sort of a pressure where it pulls back on the headset just a little bit. Now, they weren't sliding or moving or anything like that, but I could definitely feel the subtle difference of that, the frame just kind of pushing back on the headset a little bit on the ears. Now, once again, though, that does kind of translate to a far more secure fit than the older ones, where frankly, it was a good fit, but the pressure was mainly, the security was mainly from the frames pushing down on the ears, whereas this one changes that pressure slightly to down and back. Now, which one is frankly better for, in general terms, it's hard to say. It's more of just a note of a particular difference than pros or cons. It's just something to point out because, in the end, it's laying out the facts as well as one can in order to empower you to make your best decision on what fits your needs and budgets best. Well, that's what it's all about. Frankly, though, just like that other older pair of 220s, I give this an unreserved 5 stars. It's got the audio, it's got the battery life, it's got that short neck frame for moving about without having to worry about marauding branches coming through and going, So there you guys go. You have yourself a great one.